And Houston Airlock, just to clean up a few steps, just want to make sure step 13, we're showing it complete here on the PCS.
And we copy and concur. We show that complete as well.
And Pat Jenny, I can verify I have my anchor point attached to the forward D-ring, and tails closed, sliders locked.
Okay, those are good words. You can release your waist tether from the airlock D-ring.
Yeah, that's complete.
And Krister, you're going to hand out the pass crew lock bag to Danny, and the large small will stay in the crew lock.
Okay, I got the PAS crew lock bag, Krister.
Oh, yeah, that's already okay.
Yeah, I was right by the airlock, so I'm going to put this on my BRT.
I'm pushing up things as I move around here.
Yeah, take some time out and rearrange the airlock. It is pretty crowded.
And Danny, that's going to go on your BRT.
Copy that.
And just FYI for both of you, you're coming out over South America. Thanks for that. Interesting to know.
I was looking at the beautiful agriculture farms and certainly signs of life down there.
And Krister, you're going to fairly...
The view from the helmet camera from Danny Olivas as he prepares a high-tech screwdriver called a pistol grip tool to begin to unbolt a clevis bracket and structural braces to be able to gain access inside the guts of the starboard 3 truss for the beginning of the work to deploy the payload attachment system platform, the cargo platform that will fold down essentially and then be locked in place. That will enable the attachment of an express logistics carrier, basically a cargo pallet of critical spare parts to that side of the International Space Station's truss during the STS-129 mission in November.
Hey, Chris, how you doing?
Fine. How are you? Good. Okay, Danny, we'll go put the PGT in the manual ratchet mode.
Okay.
Houston Discovery for EVA.
And go ahead.
Yeah, looking for a go for RTL checkout.
I have an EVA.
The reference to the acronym IMCA is the Integrated Motor and Controller Assembly that is part of the Payload Attachment System cargo platform that has been rotated down and now locked in place. There'll be one more check of all of the latches on that system before the crew calls it a day on this particular task and begins to clean up that work site. Then we'll press ahead to move over to the midpoint of the station's backbone, the S0 truss, where they will set up to begin the removal and replacement of a rate gyro assembly box inside of the truss lattice work at the midpoint of the International Space Station's truss.
Sorry, I can put it inside. It's fine.
One hour, 32 minutes into today's final spacewalk of the mission. A great view of Krister Fugelsang at the bottom of your screen. Danny Olivas at the top of your screen as they collect their tools and adjust their tethers before making their way back to the crew lock, the outermost compartment of the Quest airlock, to stow the tool bag that was used for the deployment of the cargo attachment platform on the starboard 3 truss of the International Space Station. They then will gather up the equipment required for the next task and the one thereafter, that being the replacement components, the rate gyro assembly, a pair of global positioning system antennas, as well as a new power controller module for the S0 truss, the midpoint of the truss system of the International Space Station.
Yeah, I think that will work itself out.
Because when I came up there, I realized they're kind of almost on on this sounder.
So local down and fish it out of there.
A panoramic view of the high-flying hard hat work being conducted by Christer Fugelsang and Danny Olivas 1 hour 35 minutes into the spacewalk as they begin to move back from the starboard 3 truss of the International Space Station toward the Quest airlock to gather up the next set of equipment that they will use to replace a failed rate gyro assembly in the S0 truss, or the midpoint of the International Space Station's backbone.
Hey, look, Chris, I'm going to stay up here until you get close to the airlock.
Okay. It's good to have it here on Taylor. Kind of shows the way we're going.
Yep.
I'm back at the airlock. Okay, Christer, your first thing is to open the thermal cover and ingress the airlock, and Danny's going to hand in that pass crew lock bag to you, and you're going to put it on the large small red. Okay.
Christer Fugelsang back at the Quest airlock, soon to be joined by Danny Olivas, as you can see, making his way through the truss structure using a transit bracket. That strut that you see is designed to facilitate movement of spacewalkers from one section of the truss back to the Quest airlock and back.
First thing I hand out is the RGA bag, right? Large, small on the D-ring extender. No. I don't know. Do we need that? No. What, that's some old time? I think it's just so you can get it later. Ah, okay. That's a good plan. After you do that, you can stow your 55-foot safety tether in there.
You got Danny?
Oh, that's fine, thanks. Get rid of that. Go ahead, Danny.
I have the large ORU bag, some of BRT, and I've got a red from my BRT attached to it.
Okay, you can translate to the S0 port wedge face via the S0 aft route fairly as required.
Okay, on my way.
Okay, so my 55-foot tether is stowed. And now I get the bundle. You betcha, the RPCM GPS antenna bundle. Then you can egress the airlock and close the thermal cover. Okay, that can work. You know, we had one more. Oh, maybe it's two. Oh, that's correct. Okay. Complete. Okay, Christer, 106 is next. It's on the MCAT also. 106. Nader.
This is Mission Control in Houston. The team here confirming that the Quest airlock is now in repressurization mode. That will signal the end of the spacewalk at a total elapsed time of 7 hours and 1 minute. It began at 3:39 p.m. Central Time. It ended at 10:40 p.m. Central Time.